Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the country. Now, you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of over there? Because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time. They don't read any of the comments. They talk down to us. They think we're just a bunch of clowns on YouTube, Twitter. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions, let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and it's turning into something truly, truly special. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. And I think we're well on our way to doing it. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of First Things First, talking about the Ravens hosting the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. We know Brew is rooting for the Ravens, and we know Nick Wright is, of course, rooting for the Chiefs. But you can root for one team and think another. But I believe that they both think their respective teams are going to win. I think that this will be a good game. I think it will be a back and forth game, or the Ravens are going to not necessarily blow out the Chiefs, but win convincingly. People have tried to call me out in the comments saying, by not giving a score, which is like, I think it's absurd when you see these analysts or personalities say, the so-and-so is going to win 27-10. And I'm like, where are you guys coming up with these numbers right now? So I'm not going to get involved in that. And again, the way football works is the scores can be very misleading. So I'll make the statement that I think one team will clearly show that they are the better team. No matter what the score ends up showing. A great example of this is the Packers versus the Cowboys. When you watch that game, no chance the Cowboys had any chance at winning that game outside of obviously the very beginning when the score is 0-0. But other than that, the Packers were in complete control. But you look at the box score, you look at the final score, and you say, oh, it was a 2-possession game. That game was never a 2-possession game. Never. The Cowboys never had a chance. Even the most delusional Cowboys fan, you can't believe that. I have my one close friend who is a Cowboys fan was trying to make the argument that the Cowboys had a chance to win that game. And I'm like, I don't even know what to say to you. I mean, like, are you just doing this to get me worked up? I don't get it. So that's why I'm saying, like, it makes it very difficult in terms of a score, but I just think it'll be a close game, or the Ravens will convincingly win, whether it ends up only being by a touchdown, 10 points, more than that. I think it'll be obvious. So I'm really, really excited for this game.
I've been sitting here for 35 minutes.
He's excited for this game too.
Listening to my man across the table run his mouth.
Drop the banner, please. Last one if we could. Never a doubt. Bruise without toes. Wild, still excommunicated.
They eat lunch all up in your face and give you none.
This will be the motto for everyone, not just Nick Wright.
Never a doubt. How about never a chance? The only thing, Roz, that would make this better is a sandwich with chips and a soda pop.
Live from New York, it's the show that has recently been heralded as not bad on Twitter. It's totally First Things First. Today, on the eve of the AFC Championship, aka the First Things First Bowl. In this, not really a corner, just an oblong desk, Chiefs fan and reigning Super Bowl champion, Nick Wright. And the challenger from Ohio and Iowa and Louisiana. He'll go to your house and eat a sandwich and not let you have any. He waves the pom-poms for no man. It's Chris Broussard taking this very seriously. Let's take a quick look at the tail of the tape for the First Things First Bowl. Here we go. Chiefs Ravens, obviously. Nick has picked the Chiefs on February 13th, nearly a full year since their Super Bowl victory. Meanwhile, Broussard, September 1st, 148 days. And then in a joke that Dusty basically forced me to put in the show, toes down. Not applicable for Nick Wright. Brew, 10.
That's right. That's how I stay.
It seems like a foregone conclusion as we start the show, yet I will ask anyways. Nick, who you got?
Well, you know who I've got.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you why I've got him. And Brew,
Okay.
if you'd like,
This is going to be great.
if you'd like to hit this victory cigar, because it's the only one that you're going to come close to in the next 72 hours, I'll feel free to slide it over to you. But this is what the Chiefs have been building towards and what they have been built for.
Oh, my God.
You must have a defense with answers if you run into one of the other superheroes that plays quarterback in this league. Last week, they did, and they did. They ran into one of them in...
They did not. Okay? Josh Allen torched you. His receivers let him down. You made like 1 or 2 good plays against Josh Allen, but the coaching and the Bills' defense let Josh Allen down, and his receivers let Josh Allen down. So what Nick Wright just said there already is nonsense. Nick Wright wants to act. This is what his whole thing was. His whole narrative is what the Chiefs do during the regular season is they treat it like practice, and that they're just growing and learning and trying to figure things out, that it's all just a sandbox playground for them come time playoffs. And that's just BS. Okay? He's acting like they just play with their food, right? They just wanted to be the 3rd seed, right? They didn't want the number 1 seed. They didn't care if they're on the road playing in Baltimore, right? Like, we know that's nonsense. And again, the first 2 games that they played in the playoffs, the Chiefs were very fortunate to face beaten up teams. The Miami defense destroyed. The Bills defense destroyed. And they did not shut down Josh Allen. That is insane. They did not shut down Josh Allen. Okay? The Bills offense in general was just limited with the amount of weapons that they have. And Josh Allen, stop looking at just the box score, because the box score does not tell the whole picture. Josh Allen played unbelievable, made unbelievable throws. He made like 4 or 5 unbelievable throws, and unfortunately only like 1 of them were caught. But the Chiefs defense did not stop that. The Bills offense stopped themselves. Okay? Josh Allen had a field day. He ran on you all game. Okay? He was throwing on you all game. Yes, did he make a couple bad throws? So did Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes did that against a decimated defense. So what's the excuse there? The excuse there is it just happens. Not to mention the one big throw that people want to point out Josh Allen for was not necessarily his whole fault. And again, he's also doing it with a brand new offensive coordinator that they got in the middle of the season. That's also not easy. That is not the situation going up against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. This team has been solid the whole season. This team is united and together, and they have unquestionable trust in their coaching staff, right? Harbaugh isn't on the hot seat. Their OC isn't on the hot seat, okay? Their DC isn't on the hot seat. None of those things are happening. There is nothing but trust and comfort and confidence with the Ravens. That is not what the Dolphins had, and that is not what the Bills had. And also, what the Ravens have, to my knowledge, they're actually healthy. The Chiefs have been able to take advantage of teams that are about to fire their coaches or should fire their coaches, poor play, and injuries. Guys, that's just the reality. It is the reality, and I don't know why people can't acknowledge that. Even if you're a Chiefs fan, you can still acknowledge it. I mean, most teams that win and do really well and win Super Bowls, you can acknowledge that injuries or other issues with other teams benefited your pursuit of a championship. If you don't think the Chiefs have benefited from being in such a weak division over the years, of course they have. And I pointed out Tom Brady was given the most beautiful gift of being in the division with the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills for his entire run, where they were just absolutely terrible teams. They were just terrible teams outside of a handful of years. So that really helped Tom Brady. And that's okay. And Tom Brady would admit that. And so if Tom Brady can admit that, then why can't the fans? So you have to really look at the games and see how they unfolded. The Chiefs have not been picking apart these elite, amazing teams. They are finally playing an elite amazing team. And so, not only are the Chiefs are in for a rude awakening and a punch in the mouth, but Nick Wright is too.
Josh Allen, and they had the answers. What were the answers in that game?
They didn't
Keep
have the answers.
everything in front of us. Trust our linebackers that we have invested in, much like the Ravens have and the Niners have actually, and the Lions for that matter with their high draft pick. When other teams have said, not that important of a position, inside linebackers, trust that we can rally and tackle and give up little bits to prevent the giant chunks. To be able to have a defense that can do that, and then the very next week, do the exact opposite. Have a defense that can say, you know what? We are going to trust our two best corner duo in the league, our two young star corners, a first-team All-Pro and a first-team All-Pro that was snubbed, to handle your receivers one-on-one, because we are going to send the house at Lamar Jackson. Because while Lamar has been great this year, in his career, and we can show it to you, he has struggled against the Chiefs. Why is that? Steve Spagnuolo's been the D coordinator, and he has, even when the Chiefs' defense stunk, Lamar struggled. What is the only circumstance, Brew, under which Lamar has struggled this season?
A different OC,
when you send
different players,
a lot of pressure. So we can show you that. Lamar this year, if you send less than 6 rushers, that's how he won the MVP. Lamar, when you send 6, struggles. Why doesn't everyone do it? Because they don't have the corners to hold up if you send the 6. The Chiefs have been built for it, and by the way, probably should be mentioned, they also have the greatest player we've ever seen. If the defense can't, shut out the Ravens, which they probably would struggle to do. So that's why I believe in Kansas City.
I agree with you. They've got the greatest player we've ever.
It's funny how he wants to talk about how it was disrespectful to have the Ravens favored Mahomes, and yet he pretty much insinuated, he said that that it's possible that the Chiefs can shut out the Ravens. He did say that it would be, hard and difficult, obviously. But the fact that he would even say that's even a possibility, now who's insulting and disrespecting who? I mean, that's literally Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. So that's just stupid.
Ever seen, but they don't have the greatest player this season. This season, Lamar Jackson was the greatest player. And the fact is, from day one when this season started, we have seen who has been the best team. From day one, they wiped out a Houston team that, unbeknownst to us at the time, became a really good team. And we thought, they beat them by 16 in week 1. C.J. Stroud was young. His first start, he didn't know what he was doing. They really weren't that good at that point. And then they meet them in the first game in the playoffs, or their first game, and they beat them even worse. All right, this team has no weaknesses. Defensively, you want to run, we can stop the run. You want to pass, we can stop the pass. In fact, we can put pressure on your quarterback. We sack quarterbacks more than anybody. All right, we take it away. We'll make you fumble. We'll get interceptions. Defensively, they do it all. Offensively, we got the best run game in the league, and we got the most unique runner maybe of the decade, all right, in quarterback Lamar Jackson. And we've got a new pass-friendly offense that he has mastered at this point in the season. They got better receivers. And Mark Andrews, the all-pro tight end, is back. So now we can throw the two tight end formation at you. They have so many ways to attack the Chiefs. And, Nick, last week, you said the Chiefs kind of let, for lack of a better term, Buffalo run on them.
Yes.
I don't think they let them. I think they just got pushed around on the line of scrimmage.
You don't think there was anything to do with them allowing 0 big plays the whole game, that you have to let something happen?
Oh my God, what are you talking about? The 0 big plays was because the Bills dropped the passes. You shut up about that. I don't understand. Nick Wright, it's such a snake thing to do because he knows it's not true. Because he's made similar statements about the Chiefs where he said, this would have happened, this big play would have happened if so-and-so didn't line up offsides, which should have never even been called anyway. It's never called in the NFL. Or this would have been a big play, but so-and-so dropped the pass. So that's not all Mahomes. So why does he give the benefit of the doubt to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, but doesn't offer that same benefit of the doubt to the Bills? Again, you're deluding yourself. You're deluding yourself because the Chiefs technically were giving up these big plays. They were being run on. They were just very fortunate to not have to suffer the consequences of it because of the Bills.
You don't ever want to let 182 yards happen.
Okay.
And it was a 3-point game. It wasn't like it was a blowout. And so I think Baltimore will be able to run on them, which will open things up even more for Lamar in the passing game. Defensively, like I said, they get a ton of sacks. All right, they led the league in sacks. And you know this Spagnuolo, I meant to bring this up with the Russian. Since he's been the coordinator, he's great, Steve Spagnuolo. But since he's been their defensive coordinator since 2019, they have allowed the most rushing touchdowns by quarterbacks in the entire league, 26. And they ain't playing Lamar Jackson every week. All right, so Lamar should be able to rush for some touchdowns. And as far as the defense, Mahomes, you talked about Lamar struggling against the pressure. Mahomes has struggled mightily against the pressure this year. You see the 6 TDs, 7 interceptions, passer ratings down. Career-wise, he's been okay, but this year, not the same because we all know he doesn't have the same receivers.
Well, and by the way, it should be noted the Chiefs had one first-team All-Pro on offense, Joe Tooney, and he is their one offensive player who might be out this week.
And the two tackles have struggled.
Which is all totally fair.
Protected?
I don't think the Chiefs need to score a lot of points in this game. This is a defense, field position, kickers game. And a sneaky story, something in the last year and a half happened with Justin Tucker. He can't hit long kicks anymore. This year, 0 for 4 from greater than 40 yards. Or greater than 50 yards, pardon me. I misspoke. He's still as money as you get 50 or inside. I think only missed 1 all year. But 0 for 4 from greater than 50 yards. Bucker missed 2 kicks all year, made 5 50-plus, and one of the 2 was with your guys cheating deflated footballs in New England, and then he missed the next one ever because it messed with his mojo. So here, you're right, Brew. And you saw it, obviously, way earlier than me because I thought the Ravens were going to miss the playoffs. So the Ravens have been great all year, and they showed it in Week 1. The Chiefs' defense has been great all year, and they showed it in Week 1. Week 1 against Detroit, a team that leans on their offense. Detroit scored 14 points on offense. They scored 21 in the game. 1 was a pick 6. Mm-hmm. That when the Chiefs have played the best quarterbacks, that's when they've played their best. The very next week, they held Trevor to 9.
Now he suddenly thinks that Goff is like one of the best quarterbacks because I don't think he said that before. I'm not saying that he thinks that Goff is a scrub, but I don't think he thinks Goff is this elite next level quarterback. Not to mention, the Detroit Lions aren't this elite, unstoppable team. To compare them to the Ravens is absurd. I think Detroit's a pretty good team and a great story. They're a great team. They're good. They're doing very well. But they're not this juggernaut team, so let's not pretend like their offense is just unstoppable and unbeatable. Not to mention, that was the first game of the season for them. So they were also, incorporating new players and figuring things out. So to use that as a reference point is just silly. It's really just silly. Let's use the reference point that everybody was blowing out the Eagles except for the Chiefs. That's weird. Why couldn't Patrick Mahomes? Baker Mayfield was able to light up the Eagles. Okay? Backup quarterbacks and injured quarterbacks for the Giants. Kyler Murray. Dak Prescott. But not the Chiefs? That's weird. I wonder why. Is it maybe because their offense isn't that good? And you can also see that he's trying to speak this into existence. He's trying to say, I think it's going to be a close game because he knows that if the Ravens score a lot, that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs won't be able to match that against an actual, healthy, competent, well-coached defense, elite defense. He knows that the Chiefs won't be able to handle it. So he needs it to be a low-scoring, tight game. And I think that the Ravens have what it takes to absolutely undeniably make that not be the case. Whether it happens in the first quarter, second quarter, or third quarter, the Ravens have the true chance to completely break open the game and make it a very difficult game for the Chiefs to come back from. And that's the difference, because I don't think it works the other way around. If the Chiefs are down by, say, like 14 points, that's a very hard thing for them to come back from. But the Ravens have the ability where, if, let's say they were down by 10, 14 points, they have the ability to come back too, because I think the Chiefs' defense is not as good as the Ravens' offense, and I think the Ravens' defense is significantly better than the Chiefs' offense. And to me, that's where the imbalance lies, and that's why, to me, it ends up being a coin flip between whether or not it'll be a close game, but the Ravens win, or the Ravens can really spread this game out open. And again, some of these things really depend on what happens on a punt return, right? Is there a big 50-yard punt return? Is there a fumble? Does Patrick Mahomes throw the ball off and it hits Travis Kelce's hands and tips up and then it gets intercepted, right? Like, all of these random fluke plays that you just can't predict really influence the score and, of course, the game. And you just can't predict them. You have zero idea. So that's why, outside of those types of situations, you just don't really necessarily know what you can predict or expect. So that's the way I see it. We're probably going to keep talking about this game, obviously, but I would really love to hear your thoughts on this one. Who do you think is going to win this game? Who do you got? Do you got the Chiefs? Do you got the Ravens? And please let me know why. What are your arguments? I really want to hear what you guys all have to say with this. It seems like we have a lot of Chiefs fans coming at me these days, so keep bringing it on. I want to hear why you guys think that, you should be favored or that you think you will win. And you Ravens fans, let me know as well. And also you casual fans, let me know. So let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe. As I said, we are building an amazing community here, and I would truly love to see you part of it. And also, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really helps with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.